welcome, welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Tuesday and it's 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I am so glad that you guys have dropped in on me today. We have the professor himself, Norman H., hanging out in the green room. We're going to bring him on in a minute so he can tell us some more juicy information about what's going on in the world of stock market. Before we get started with him, I want to give a shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling together for 30 plus years. And out of those 30 plus years, he has been a blessing to me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. And the reason why I talk about my mentor, because I want you all to understand the value of a mentor. Somebody that's been around the barnyard a few times and they know their way around the marketplace, whatever marketplace that is, and they're able to help navigate and help you understand what's going on. So, I talk about my mentor because I want you to get nothing else out of anything that I talk about. Get a mentor and then get your own show so you can talk about your mentor as much as I do. All right. I want to invite you guys over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, I want you to take a look at all of the advertisers that I have listed. All my advertisers have been vetted out, and they are who they say they are, and they do what they say that they do. So I encourage you guys to check out my advertisers. I'm going to mention a few of them to you now. Serve Synergy. If you are interested in understanding how the solar energy marketplace works, they are the people to talk to. They're helping people with classes to be able to understand, what people can do as far as getting involved in the solar energy marketplace. They're teaching people how to be solar energy installers. They can tell you if you're interested in putting solar panels on your home. They can help you understand and navigate what the best contracts are available out there for getting solar panels on your home or business. Port Again Sam and I have been together for 10 plus years. And out of the 10 plus years that we have been operating together, he brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. And I tell you, if you like wine, cognac, um, man, you cannot find anything better than what he can offer. Now, I tell you, you want to give him a call. You want to set up your first tasting, your wine tasting, so you can find out what your best new favorite wine is going to be. Now, I'm a cognac person myself, so I got some of the best that he has to bring in from all over the world. I tell you, I'm never disappointed when I get cognac from Port Again Sam. So give him a call. Click on all the banners and all of the flyers that you see on the website, and it'll take you directly to their website. Give them a call and tell them you heard about it on the Ask Dr. Ron show. Now, Prince Hunter Financial Group, they've been on the show many, 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 many times before, and they have been a sponsor to the show from what I understand, 3, 4, 5 years now. And I tell you, he has a special promotion, and I'm going to let him talk to you about it when he comes on because he's our guest today. He is offering 4 free classes, 4 free classes to anybody that's interested in starting their education and understanding what the stock market has to offer. And I tell you, you do not want to miss out on that opportunity because the stock market is making people money right now. Even though it looks like it's not, it actually is. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome back to the show my brother, my friend, my colleague, Mr. Norman H. Welcome back to the show, sir.
Hello, hello, hello.
I know the first thing he likes to do when he comes on the show, y'all, is correct me. He always likes to correct me, publicly. But I
Pretty
have no
much.
shame, So what are you gonna correct me on today, Norman?
Yeah, it's not, it's almost a no correction, but I'm going to tell you it's not for free classes. It's for our session for free. I will talk to you for 4 hours. Anything you want to look at in the market, I'll show it to you. I'll explain it to you. I'll let you practice trade and fool around in the stock market just so you can kind of look and see how it moves. Um, and that's really it.
So let me ask you a question. Out of the people that have come to you, because there's been a few, maybe not as many as it should be, because they're
Hmm.
scared of you. Because we talk about you so much and how much you beat up on people, they scared of you, so they don't know what to do. But out of the people that come to you in those 4 hours,
Hmm.
what are people able to walk away with? Let's talk about that for a little bit.
I would say a better understanding because I have spoken and done sessions with people who have never looked at the stock market at all. They just understand that there is stocks out there that they can buy, sell, and try to make money. But when you sit with me and you get to look at the market move, that kind of gets to it takes away a little bit of the fear that people have in the very beginning of because there are some people rather, like I said, who've never seen the market on their own computer. So what I do is I let them come into my computer via Zoom, and then they make an educated guess whether they're right or wrong. Hey, which way do you think the market's going up in the next 5 minutes? And that's part of the whole analogy. Because if I ask them where are you going to be 1 year from now, this day, at this exact time, they won't really have an answer. You don't know what that's going to be. But if I say where are you going to be in the next 5 minutes, you'll get that right every time. And that's the premise of the stock market of how you have to think. You have to be dynamic on your feet with your brain, and you get to see what's going on. So they get excited, they like it, and oh, it ain't that bad. And some people say it's this a lot to look at, which it is, but it's all compartmentalized information. You just have to know where to put the information and then when to use it.
Okay. So it's a benefit, you would have to say.
Yes, without a doubt.
Okay, good. All right, man. We got people chiming in already. I want to, give some shout outs right quick. Willa Breeze, Will Breeze, Dr. Ron, your audio is coming in and out. Okay. Shay Williams, say hello, all. Willa Breeze
Hey, Shay.
says, yeah, Norman's audio is coming in and can be heard, but your audio is low, Dr. Ron. Okay, I hope I got it straight for you. Let's see. Wonderfully made. Hey, this is Tammy.
that's
Uh,
that's a
okay.
new client. Yeah.
Okay. Shay Williams, Dr. Ron is much lower in volume. Yes. Okay. Beverly Tillman. Hi, Norman. He is a great mentor. Shay. Hi, Shay. Hi, Tammy. This is Aisha. Hi, Miss Beverly. Yes, yes, he is. Shay, hey, Aisha. Guess what? Now I have to give a special shout out to this one. Rudy is on the line.
Oh,
Norman is the
maybe.
best. Now, giving credit where credit is due, Norman is the reason. I'm sorry, Rudy is the reason how I met Norman. Can y'all believe that? Somebody else introduced me to Norman. Now, Rudy and I have been friends for a while. No, I don't play golf, but it is such a situation where he saw me on the stock market crying and losing money. I was playing the forex market. He said, "I got just the person for you," and he introduced me to Norman, and it's been, bad news ever since. But welcome to the show for the first time, Rudy. Glad to see you.
All right, all right.
Wonderfully made said, hi, so everybody got their hellos out now. So that's what's happening with that. So welcome to the show, you all. Is my volume still low? Somebody let me know. I think I adjusted it a little bit, but I can turn it up some more if I have to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it just for the heck of it. So Norman, say something.
Something.
Okay, what about that, y'all? Is that better? Yeah, that should be, a lot better. I need to play golf for real. No, I don't think so. You know who said that, right?
Right, right, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So, no, I'm not a golfer. No, I'm a pool player. You know, you know. Aisha said, "Thank you, Rudy, for that introduction because Dr. Ron introduced me to Norman."
All right.
Okay.
That's pretty
So
cool.
volume is much better. So hey, so everybody gets a turn, to meet one another, and the benefits are astronomical. You know, um, and I thank Norman for being a advertiser to the show because I talk about him each and every broadcast. So it is an opportunity for me to bring more people to the table to get on Norman's nerves. Now, y'all know Norman got a very short fuse. Okay, you know, Norman last year said, I'm looking for 25 more people to teach with an entrepreneur atmosphere,
No, they
and
need. You said it right. They needed an entrepreneurial mindset.
right,
That's
and
a different caliber of people.
exactly. So we made some folks mad when I said that he don't want no people off 47th Street unless they own the churches or something, or Harold's Chicken or something. But you know, he definitely was frustrated with dealing with folks that don't have no stick with it, stay with it, or ability to be able to, buckle down and learn what they
Mm,
got to learn. Okay, so
yeah.
that's one of the problems with people that don't have a entrepreneurial mindset because you got to approach this as a business. And if you don't approach it as a business, and if it's a hobby or something like that, you ain't gonna take it seriously. Because hobbies you don't take seriously. Like you're a golfer. Now, Norman is so serious about golf. He had a friend of mine that he met. He said, "Yeah, man, you're gonna be buying my family dinner tonight, you know, and we're gonna be eating pizza and fried
He, yeah,
chicken.
he was gonna have to buy a large family pizza and a bucket of chicken.
Yeah." So all I can say is shots fired, you know, because the guy that he was shooting at, he said, "Well, I get guys like you that talk trash to be my caddy." you know, and I mean they was going back and forth at it for a little while. I mean seriously going at it. So I was like, wow. Aisha, why don't you turn the volume up? Okay, maybe that'll help. You know. So I'm doing the best I can. You're the only one complaining, that the mic is not good. Okay, so turn your speakers up, and then you'll be able to hear what's going on. So you gave me a very interesting title for the show today, and I'm gonna let you address it and speak to it as you see fit to want to address it. Okay, in case you
Hmm.
didn't see the title, it says "Best Loser Wins." What you got in mind with that?
I mean, basically, with this business and anything else, especially with trading, you have to learn how to lose. And I brought this up because I've worked with some new people over the past few months, and they all say the same thing. Well, I don't want to lose, and I don't want to lose, and I don't want to lose that much. I don't want to lose this much. But understanding that losing is part of the business. And I give this example every way I can when I come on the show, and I tell people no matter what you do, when you have a regular job, you take risk, even with a regular job. You jump in your car, you drive in 6 inches of snow, you drive on the road with crazy people who may be drunk or maybe not drunk. You don't know what's on the other side of the car when you're not, when you're driving. And a lot of people don't understand that risk of losing is the same thing, except it's perceived differently with people who have regular jobs. Those are people with who, you get your paycheck, but you're putting gas in the car. That's coming out of your paycheck. You're buying your lunch, you're buying your insurance. All of that, you don't get to keep that money. You don't get to keep your whole paycheck. So a lot of people don't think of trading in that perspective. They just think, okay, let me buy and make some money. But no, you have to build a trade around risk. It's built into it. And doesn't mean you have to lose. What it means is you have to be a manager. And that's what a lot of people don't understand in this business, is that you have to manage your trades. Sure, I give this example all the time. You're gonna use, let's say, $2,000. Let's say you put $2,000 in a trading account or more, and then you're gonna use of the 2,000, let's say 1,000, and then of the 1,000, you're gonna risk maybe 250 bucks. If you think like that and understand the process, it'll all come clear. You keep the losses small and the wins large. As the saying goes, you have to let your winners run. So the best loser wins is what I'm really trying to say is people who understand how to lose a little bit and not get emotional and not let the market get the best of their emotions or their thinking process, they'll do better than the ones who just try to get lucky and shoot from the hip. And I tell my people now, like, listen, if you're shooting from the hip, just as long as you know you're not taking aim, you're not trying to be precise, you're trying to get a little lucky, and sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. But you can't get mad that you took a shot and it didn't work out. Mm-hmm. You can't let that control you, because we've all been on tilt before on some level. I've been on tilt trading. I've been on tilt with my family. I've been on tilt on a golf course. I've been on tilt. It all happens, but it's the emotional makeup that we have to control. And that's what people don't understand. That anxiety is nothing but perceived fear. That's all it is. It's not really real. You just have to understand how to manage it. And that's what this whole topic was about today. Because I've talked to so many people and saying, well, I don't want to lose.
Yeah, that's one of the pitfalls of this business. Like no different than going to a casino. If you're gonna put $100 in a machine, there's always that possibility that you might not never see that $100 again.
Yeah,
but right. They don't worry about that. They like, ooh, I'm finna have some fun,
right.
And if they walk out of there in the hole $100 down, they okay with that.
Right.
But when it comes to dealing in the stock market, they ain't okay with losing $100.
Right.
They gonna go home and kick the dog and everything else, because they lost $100. Okay,
right.
And they don't feel like that $100.
And I don't really think it's even that, Ron. I really think it's the fact that they go with $100 trying to get rich.
Right.
They don't have a concept of small money makes small money. Mm-hmm. Be happy making $10 with $100 investment. That's 10%. You can't be mad at that. But no, everybody got big eyes and big stomachs.
Yeah.
And we got small wallets. But it don't work that way.
I'm laughing because I remember a conversation me and you were having last year sometime. And I had called Norman. I don't know why I called him for some reason. And I was talking to him, and he was struggling his way back from a bad day. And I was talking to him, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm down a whole bunch, but I'm coming back." And for some reason, I quoted a statement that a very wise philosopher once told me, and that was, "It'll be some days you'll be glad to make $100."
Yeah. I said that to you. Yeah, for real. You have a bad day. I ain't gonna lie. Today was a bad day for me. It didn't turn out well. I'm still smiling. Yeah. I didn't blow up my family's money or my money, but you take hits sometimes, and sometimes you got to roll with the punches. And yes, I would right now. Yes, I would be glad if I made $100 today. So
yeah, on that day he said, "I'm coming off the trading floor right now." I said, "Huh?"
Go ahead.
Nah, it's like he said, "Man, I recognize when the voice of God is speaking to me."
I've been on tilt before, man, and I have to go in a trader rehab. We all do. I just put Beverly, she in here. I put her on trader rehab. I'm sorry, Bev, I tell your business. but I just put her in trader rehab. But it happens, man. We have to get back to a level state. You have to get conscious about what you're trying to accomplish and keep your end game in sight. You got to keep it in sight. And the struggle is people don't really understand when they come into this business, you really have to have not just money capital, you have to have emotional capital. You have to know how to control your emotions and manage it, and then sometimes use it for your own good, and turn it off for your own good too. But that emotional capital is very, very important.
Yeah, I gotta look. I gotta put the words that are coming out of Beverly's, keyboard right now. Um, first of all, wonderfully made said champagne dreams and beer money.
Hmm.
Also said Mr. Miyagi. Beverly said bad for me too today, and then she got all these little cuss words and dollar signs, and I'm assuming that's what those are. And she said I'm in rehab cussing again.
Yeah.
You know, uh, Aisha said live to trade another day.
That's right.
But the most important comment that I want to read is Rudy. Rudy said, please go over again the best way to get started. I said when I retired, I was going to get in. So
Okay.
Rudy is putting a request on the line. Now, not to mention, Rudy been retired for about 10 years now.
Right.
you know, so if he coming back around to the subject, I think that's a good thing. So why don't
Yeah.
you address Rudy, please?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna speak it in broad terms. I won't. I'm not. I don't really try to sell people in this business because what just happened with him is what happens all the time. I remember I went with Rudy and his wife to go watch another trader speak almost 15 years ago out there in Alsip. I don't know if he remember that because they asked me to go with them because they wanted me to kind of listen to what he had to say. But to bring it full circle, people come back when they're ready. That's one. So to get started, you just have to have a trading account. That's what I definitely tell you. You need to open up a brokerage account somewhere with somebody. And because you're new to this, from this perspective, I'm gonna tell you, like I tell everybody else, a brokerage account is nothing more than a glorified bank account. That's all it is. You make a deposit like you would at a Chase Bank or Fifth Third or whoever you bank with, and with those companies, you can only use your money to purchase goods at the stores, gas, food, whatever, pay bills. But when it's a brokerage account, you can actually use the money you deposit to make money off of that market or in the markets. That's first. So you definitely need a brokerage account. And then as far as getting more information, then it's where's the 4 free hours come in. So I recommend give me a call, and then I'll sit with you. We'll do a Zoom call again, and then we just go over the market, over what you probably remember or don't remember. Because everyone that does the sessions with me, when we get back into it again years later, oh, I remember this. They never forget it. It's just always that way. But how getting started is you have to have a trading account, whether it's a TD Ameritrade, which is technically gone. Charles Schwab bought them. There's a lot of brokers out there, and you got to decide what you want to trade. Do you want to trade the futures market? Do you want to trade the stock market? Do you want to trade options market? Do you want to trade cryptocurrency market? So there's a lot of things that you can do out there to try to make money, and what you could use.
Absolutely. And Rudy is correcting me. He says it's only been 4 years. He's been retired. Okay. All right, Rudy. Well, you've been gone from Country Club Hills for 10, I think. So I know it's been a while, but, you know, um, and you're right. Once you get started, the first thing, because I had somebody reach out to me about this as well, the first thing you want to do is come to the to the table with an open mind and an open heart. Now, I had a gentleman reach out to me. He said, "You almost had me," and I said, "What you mean we almost had you?" He said, "Well, I was ready to call and get them for free, hours, and then and I wanna, you know, get started. But he was afraid of what he saw other people doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he saw people running around with cell phones tracking trades all day long when they were, on the job, supposedly doing what they supposed to be doing. But they focus all day long is monitoring them trades to make sure that, what they got themselves involved in, uh, didn't turn into that loss that you talked about early on.
Mm-hmm.
So they must didn't have the protections in place that you teach, how to do this and how to do that.
Right. Those type of people, and I'm talking to that person. If he ever watches this show, I know you never told me his name, but a lot of that, man, is people don't have a plan. So you're always like this with your phone in your hand, and without a plan, you don't understand what it takes to be successful in this business. He's right. 95% of the people who try to be a day trader, they lose. They do lose. And the biggest part of the problem is they don't have a plan. They don't have a strategy. They don't have a methodology. They don't have that emotional capital, or they come to the table undercapitalized. Well, hey, I only want to put $500 in my account. Okay, well, that means you could probably take 5 trades for the entire year and hope you get lucky at the end of the year, because you won't be able to, you don't have a plan. You don't know how to dollar cost average. Every time whatever you buying is falling, keep putting money in there, keep putting money in there. That doesn't make sense to certain people, but it's a lot of research. I'm a researcher by nature, so ain't too many conversations I can't have with people because I am a social butterfly when it comes to everything. So it just, people have to understand. Sometimes you got to make a slow dime than a fast dollar.
Yeah. Rudy
You know.
said he's still behind, and 95% is rough odds. That's what he
Yeah.
said. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and speaking to that,
This is harder than being a doggone brain surgeon, man. It's those people like doctors and lawyers. Let's use lawyers as an example. Being a lawyer technically is filing paperwork.
mm-hmm,
You got to know when to file a motion. So it's about process. And it's the same thing with cutting open somebody's chest for heart surgery. It's a process. You can't start at the foot and do heart surgery.
yeah,
So it's the same thing with this business, that you have to learn what goes on in the business. And I tell people, you heard this before in other sessions or calls I did with you, you have to learn the science of the business. That's what people don't do. They don't want to go read about what JP Morgan does or what a hedge fund does. They don't care about that. So they just try to buy and get lucky and hope another GameStop happens, where that doesn't happen too often.
yeah. And I was going to address that. You encourage people to go study something and bring it
Yeah.
back to you.
Yeah, don't take my word for none of this. I ain't the guru. I ain't the leader. I'm an advocate. I don't even consider myself a mentor. You heard me say this before. I'm an advocate for all of y'all.
Right.
If y'all on that side of the street screaming, hell no, we won't go, I'm on the other side screaming, hell no, they won't go.
Right.
That's me. I want all of y'all to make it, but at the same time, it's so much information. I'll never know everything. I've been doing this for 30 years. I've been trading since 1996. What's that, 29 years almost?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I still don't know everything, but I know a lot, and I know enough to make money.
There you go. Yeah. Now I got to tell on myself, y'all. I remember he gave me that assignment. Go find something, and bring it back to him. So I was doing some, searching around on the internet, and I ran into this young tenderoni that was a Florida weather lady. Okay, and she was working doing traffic and weather in Miami. Okay, and I was listening to her because she was, teaching about options. So when I grabbed a couple of videos and I sent them to Norman, and then he barked at me so hard. He's like, "She don't know nothing. Leave that girl alone." I said, "Is it because she cute?"
Right, because you was only looking because her Tigo bitties was looking good to you. talking about the stock market. That's all that was.
And I was like, but she talking about options. He said, so? He didn't listen. He didn't even listen to her. He just like, so? And
The
it,
way the internet is now, man, anybody could talk about everything if they wanted to, and they ain't even got to be successful at it.
uh-huh.
And I just tell people, listen, go study everybody. Just bring them back to me so we could talk about it, so I can see if you understand what they're saying. That really will help. Don't just take my word for none of this.
Yeah. Now, Aisha said, I am not trying to belittle the guy's comment on what keeps him from trading, but it can be compared to seeing bad accidents on the interstate. But that does not stop me from driving. Yep.
Yeah,
And
you gotta get moved past that.
yeah,
It may alter how you move. If you come down this street and you got hit right here on 159th Street, you probably take 147th Street for the next few times.
right,
It's
right,
it's emotional. That's why I say you need emotional capital, and it's
right,
growth. And a lot of people don't understand how to fortify emotional capital.
right. And Rudy said, "Laugh out loud." She was cute too, Rudy. I know you're a pastor and all. I know you ain't into cute things, but I'm just letting you know.
Really happily married.
I know, I know. That's why I say he ain't into cute
Don't be on here getting him
tenderonis.
in no trouble now.
I'm not. I'm telling it like it is. I'm not married. I'm a single man. So I thought she was talking about something worth listening to. You know. Yvonne Gray just tuned in. She said,
Oh,
"Hi,
what's up?
gentlemen. How you doing, Miss Yvonne?
Hey,
Yvonne's
Yvonne.
been a guest on the show too. Now since Yvonne just popped in, you got a couple of your superstars on here tuned in at the moment. So you
Mhm.
want to talk about them and their success stories? They started out, where they started from, and now I know you refer to them as superstars. Talk to them.
I mean, for your friend Ron, that still on the sideline, a lot of people never even thought about being traders or day trading until they met me. They just knew hey, the market is interesting. I think I want to try that. But Yvonne's story is one where, everyone knows me. I've been in business for 35 years. I have a contracting company and a trading company, but I do meet people over contracting, and I tell them the same thing. You got to get me while I'm here, because I don't want to be doing this forever. I'm finna stop this. And they would always ask the same question: what you gonna do when you don't do this? And I was at Yvonne's house and I was tiling a backsplash for her. And we just happened to start talking about the market. She said she was interested, and then next thing you know, she's taking a class, she's taking her free sessions, and next thing you know, after that, she's putting our hard-earned money to work. And she hit a bump in the road, and she did that emotional capital fortitude thing where she took a year off because she lost a lot of money, but she didn't quit. That's why 95% of the people fail, because the minute they get bumped on the head, as Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. It goes out the window. But she came back, and now Yvonne calls me once a week, maybe once every other week, because normally I talk to everybody every day. But Yvonne she would call me every once in a while and I'll say, how you doing? Oh, I did 1,500 yesterday. I did 600 today. Oh, my biggest trade was this. Everyone has that thing, but they didn't have any history, no background in this, no teaching until they met me. Aisha turned around, $150,000 trading account. She did good. Everybody's doing well that really sticks to the plan.
That's wonderful. Is that the only two that you want to give
No, who
honorable
else? Who,
mention
who
to?
else? There's so many people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I talked to
Wonderfully
so many
made.
people.
Let's see who else we got. Beverly Tillman. Uh,
Beverly, I'll speak to Beverly's credit. To you guys on the sideline, or even the ones that are struggling, Beverly started with me in September of last year.
mm-hmm.
Here we are in February. Beverly started like this: Norman, I only want to make $50 a day. I said, okay. Beverly got good. Norman, I only want to, maybe I should make $100 a day. Beverly got better. Norman, I think I can make $300 a day. So that's what Beverly's doing. And she hit a bump in the road last week, 2 weeks ago, put herself in trader rehab and said, let me get back on my grind, on my hustle, and let me get my emotions set because this is what it takes. But now, by the way, y'all, she 80 years old. So anybody
Right
under
now.
her age struggling, y'all ain't got no excuse. No
Mm-hmm.
excuse. Because she has called me, Norman, great day today. I did $700.
Mm.
That's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. Yvonne said, never give up. She got her
Yeah.
sunglasses on, on a smiley face. So she doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Shay says, Shay Williams, never give
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
So
Shay just told me the other day she wanted to come back. She said, I want to come back so bad. Life, everybody's life get in the way. So you can't give up. This ain't an easy business, but ain't nothing easy that's worth it. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. So talk to my friend again that's on the fence. You talked to
Mm-hmm.
him a little while ago, to what he has seen and what has made him insecure.
Right.
What could you say to a person that's insecure, afraid right now because they've seen other people with bad trading habits? What could you tell
Okay.
them that would be different dealing with you? Go ahead.
Okay. So that's a really good question. So I just gave somebody this is a new person. Um, she's about 29. I talked to her 4 or 5 years ago. Hey, you should, start trading, get in this. And she was a truck driver. She was a bail person. Like all kind of stuff was going on in her life. And one day I just said, you know what? I called her and I said, listen, call me tomorrow or next week or whatever. And I'm going to do something different with you than I do with everybody else. And what I did is what I would do for your friend. Help him open an account, give him 3 buttons to push: the buy button, the sell button, and the flat button. And let me see how you do. That young lady called me the first day and said, man, this is so cool. She didn't take a class. She didn't, she don't know nothing. She know to buy, to sell, and beat the profit button. That's it. So she's watching the market do this all day long, and she's getting her feet wet while she's learning. And I told her that's the best thing you could do. You don't have any knowledge from me, but look at what you did. Her first day, I think she did 300. She said she was up like 12 and then closed at 3. The next day she lost. And then the third day, I haven't talked to her because it started this week, as a matter of fact, or at the beginning of last week. And what ended up happening, she ended up finishing the week $1,600
Okay.
with no classes, no nothing. All she's doing is looking at the charts and watching the market go up and down, and she's using her mind. You have to be dynamic in your thinking. You cannot be like tunnel vision and say, this is going up, this is going up. No, it may not go up. You got to get out of the trade. But for him, I would do that for him. Like, listen, this is all you need. And if you want me, here's what I charge. Here's my fee. Let me know how you do.
Yeah.
And some people have to send on their way like that because I think I told you before, you guys, everybody in here are emotionally draining me. I internalize your whole life,
Mm-hmm.
your struggles, your good days, your bad days. I got people talking to me about their dogs, about their kids. I got people talking about their jobs. I got people talking to me about their health.
What you
That's how
trying
I
to
feel.
say, man? You can't handle it?
I can't handle it. I told him, listen, this was December. I said, don't call me. I'm gonna call y'all. It's too much to talk about.
Look, I remember I started this format of when I was pretty active, just texting you my resuls. And
Yeah.
I think you start making everybody else do that. Just
Yeah,
text me.
yeah, yeah. It's better that way sometimes. Because there's one person in this room who hang on my ear all day long
Oh
if I let
Lord.
her. So,
Yeah, you said her.
yeah, her.
That's funny.
But
But
she in love with the market though. I mean,
right,
that's passion. I can't be mad at that because you got to have the passion for this business. You see how excited I get just talking about it. But
right.
if you don't have the passion, yeah, you don't really, yeah, I lost today, I lost the next day, and I don't want to do this no more.
And then you got talking back into it.
Then I gotta, yeah, and I
Yeah,
won't do that anymore. No.
yeah. Yvonne say Norman the therapist.
Right.
but and I have to your credit, I come on here all the time and I talk about how mean Norman is. Okay, I've warned people, don't go over there if you got some thin skin. But to speak to your credit, um, you are very passionate about what you do, and you do have people's best interests at heart.
I do.
You
I do.
know, and even though he got a drug dog, I'd still consider him to be, a very good-hearted person. Because I got a thing, about people with drug, the pit bulls. I'm like, come on, man, really? You riding through the neighborhood like you're a drug dealer? Stop. You
Nino
know.
Brown, the traitor.
But he is such, a passionate person, and it's a two-way street. Because going back to the scenario I gave earlier, when I called him and he was working his way out this hole, I had no idea that the words he had gave me was going to be a blessing back to him. About it'll be days you'll be glad to get just
Yeah, yeah,
$100. I didn't
yeah,
know, but they came up out of my mouth back to him, and he quit trading that day
yeah.
with $100.
You have to know when your ego gets in the way. This is a very egotistical business because if you can make $500 in 3 minutes, technically, you pretty are better than Nino Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can make that kind of money without leaving your house and standing on somebody's corner in a t-shirt and some saggy pants. Come on, come on,
Not a
man.
t-shirt and saggy pants,
Come
bro.
on.
No.
And to everybody's credit that and I'm gonna talk about this with everyone in the room who knows what I'm gonna say, and I can be very brutally honest with people in this room. There are at least 3 people in this room right now that we have. I had Beverly just the other day. Norman, shut up. I don't want to hear it right now. You're just gonna talk bad about me. I said, okay, I'll talk to you later. You know, I'm trying to get her to stay on track. Me and Yvonne, F you. No, F you. All right, call me tomorrow. All right, them kind of, them, them
Not
kind
not Yvonne from the west side. Oh,
I'm from the
sweet,
west side. Me and H
innocent
to the same
Yvonne.
thing. Me and H to the same thing. Argue, all right, like, come on, y'all got to get this and get a grip on yourself because this is psychological. Trading has nothing to do with money. It's all psychology. Because if you think you can make $500 in 3 minutes, guess what? That means you think you can make 1,000 in 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it don't work that way.
Right, that's true. Yvonne said, that's what I had to learn, how to check my ego at the desk,
Mm-hmm.
And Aisha said, yes, sir, the money is there for the taking, but you must be disciplined on how to get it. And
Yeah.
Yvonne said, yes. Many of you all who follow me on this episode that I do with Norman, I told people a long time ago publicly that I'm a petty thief. I go in when the market opens, I steal what I'm going to be stealing, and I'm going to be gone for the rest of the day. I'm not going to sit around there, plotting another, rip off. No, I'm going to steal what I'm going to steal and get out the way. And that's my nature.
Because you can overtrade. There's such a thing as overtrading because your job is to follow the money. I've given this example as a day trader. You have to be like a little fish following a shark. When a shark eats a seal, he doesn't eat the whole seal and swallow it up in one big bite. No, he bites that joker, rips it up in half, and tears it like my pit bull does his toys. And every now and then, that little guppy fish swim in and do what? Get some food and leave.
Uh-huh.
Get some food and leave. If you think like that, you'll be fine. But if you think you can hold on and not manage a good winner or know how to manage a loser, you will get eaten by that shark.
Yeah. Yvonne said I had to go west side on him.
Yeah,
look,
yeah, she let me have it. She let me
look,
have it.
and he hung up. He wasn't finna fight with you. Look, you got to understand that he really has all of our best interests at heart, to be honest with you. I was surprised. He called and checked on me, and I ain't traded in over a year because I've been dealing with personal health issues. And every night he'll ask me, he said, when you coming back? And I said, when I get through healing. Because according
Mm-hmm.
to my rules and regulations, I'm giving them trade secrets now. According to my rules and regulations that I wrote for myself, I'm not going to trade when I'm going through pain, narcotics, things like that that are going to, affect my depth perception of what I'm looking at.
Hmm.
So those are my rules and regulations. Your
And
rules
and
might be different, but
and
mine.
To Rudy's question, that's one of the first things you need is to have a plan, and that's what a plan is rules. If you don't have a rule-based trading system, you just out here shooting from the hip, hoping to get lucky.
Hmm.
And you got to stick to the plan. The key is consistency and understand that this business is all about probability because it's different every day. Fixing a computer is the same parts every day. One part may go out, but another one doesn't. And then the next day, something else may go out, but another one doesn't. You know what to do. But here in this business, it's different every day. So a
Absolutely.
rule-based system, because one day one trade can make $1,000 in 6 minutes, and another day that same trade at the same price at the same time ain't going nowhere.
Right, right. And and one of the things that Norman made me do, I don't know if he made the rest of y'all do this, but he made me take one trade a week. Now, if I get in it, that means I got to stay into it till my final day of training, which was Thursday. The rest of y'all trade on Friday. I don't trade on Friday. But if I get in a trade on Tuesday, that means I got to be out of it by Thursday or the start of opening day on Friday, and I'm done for that
And you
week.
had a good day. I remember your option trade paid you really well.
Yeah, yep. And it's
And
one trade,
then you got overconfident.
and then I lost the same thing that I
And,
gained. Yep. And then you laughed at me, say I knew you was gonna do it. you know. And I was like, hey, bro, that I was on a Friday, and I hadn't got out of my trade on a Thursday. I was waiting on it to turn around to come back up so I can at least break even, and I
Mhm,
never did. When them
mhm.
people told me, I didn't even call him and ask him what was gonna happen. I called TD American Trade. And I said, well, what happens if I want to keep this to Monday? And he said, you got $300,000. I was like, oh shit. I was I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna take a hit on this one, you know.
And learning as you go in this business, you accumulate rules or rituals that you have to do. Today, the Fed chairman spoke all day today.
Hmm.
Whole testimony today. That you need to know because that can affect the fluctuation of the day. Unemployment comes out every week. You need to know if is unemployment good or unemployment bad. Is the initial claims good or is it bad? All those things you need to pay attention to, but you don't know that until you get your feet wet. And that's what happened to me. I didn't have a mentor. I say this every time I talk to y'all. I didn't have somebody to call. I started this on my own. As y'all know in them other videos, I've said it before. I slept on my desk. I had an office in Harvey, Illinois, and Matson, Illinois. I slept on my desk. I slept on the floor, eyeballing my computer just like this, with one eye open, trying to not miss a trade. That ain't where it's at, y'all.
Right.
You got to learn how to have that emotional capital and fortitude and that discipline and the patience and understand that there's always more money. But
Absolutely.
more ain't a number when you in a trade. That's what
Absolutely.
people don't realize.
All right, let's see what they saying here now. Aisha said, Yvonne, Norman makes us go there with him because he does not hold his tongue on us.
No, not at all.
And Yvonne said, yes, he does. Rudy said, wow, that's a great analogy, shark and seal.
Hmm.
Shay said, that happened to me also, SMH, whatever that means.
Shaking my head. That's what I
Yeah,
mean.
okay. Shay said, hoping the market would turn around and waiting on it. Dumb move, Shay. Shay said, I was too scared to tell Norman what I did. That's fear, boy, I tell you. Yvonne said, I wouldn't even tell Norman. Well, that's out of respect to the professor. You don't even want to tell him when you did bad. Because that rascal will just say, "I knew it." That's all he gonna say is, "I knew it. You gonna mess
Everybody
up."
that ever had Beverly had a great day. Again, I don't mean to put people business out there, but Beverly had a great day. Her first, really first time, and I was like, she gonna blow up tomorrow. I didn't tell her that, but this is the first time she ever heard me say that. But she she blew up, and got to go to rehab.
Right, right, right,
So
right.
because you can't hope in this business, I tell people hope springs eternal. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, you can hope forever for anything to happen.
right, right,
That's how I feel about that.
right. And it's funny because me and you was having a conversation about Aisha, and you told me, "Oh man, she did such outstanding." I said, "Did she blow up yet?" When I talked to him again about it, because I know now. I was like, "She gonna blow up? Did it happen yet?" He said, "Not yet."
Overconfidence,
Yeah, it's coming.
overconfidence will get you all the time. It's just you
Yeah,
got to learn to realize that this business is not easy, but it's very rewarding, and you got to know how to stick it out, and you have to know how to take what's yours. What do I say? All of it ain't your money.
right.
Missed money better than lost money.
Absolutely.
Oatmeal is better than no meal, and take what you know you could get.
Yeah,
If you stick to those four little plans, those little sayings that I have, you'll have a great understanding of it helps you with yourself.
absolutely. Now, let's see. Aisha said, "Shay, until I learned to change my mind, I had so many tearful days. I had to learn to a small loss, had to a small loss, and then makes a bigger profit once I pivot." Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Shay said, "We've all been there, learning curves."
Hmm.
Yvonne said, "Everyone has blown up the account, but he
Yeah,
showed me how to reset." Yep. And Aisha said, "Facts."
yeah.
So, you know, um, I want to get to some nuts and bolts right quick, and I appreciate all the comments that have come in. What would a good starting point be for a brand new person? What would you suggest? Some of these people have been on here for a while. They didn't cried endless nights and days for doing what they do and not doing it the way you taught them to do it, but thinking they can do it better. That's a common problem too. But what is it for a brand new beginner? Somebody that for the first time says, "Okay, I'm gonna bite the bullet." What do you suggest that they get?
You mean to read?
No, to be able to start, come to your
Oh,
table, to be okay. I know they gotta have a computer, more than one. What would you suggest?
um, obviously, definitely a computer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna suggest a book on first time ever on this show. And I'm not gonna do y'all like the white Jewish boy did me. He gave me a book to read that really wasn't sure, you know what I'm saying? So, so there's a book that talks about probability and thinking in probabilities, and that book is called Trading in the Zone. There are people on this call that have bought the book and have yet to read the book, but the book helps people understand that probability is what this business is about. I already said it once today. You have to learn how to think in probabilities. We have people who come from regular jobs, they have tunnel vision the moment they wake up. Even when they go to bed, I got to know what time to set my clock. I got to get up and do my hair. I got to get ready. I got to cook myself some breakfast. I got to get the kids ready. Then I got to get in the car. I got to drive in the snow, go to the job for 8 hours, eat lunch when they tell me to, leave when they tell me to, be there when they tell me to, and do it all over again every day for the rest of your life on this job. So it's hard to think dynamically.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to think on a pivot. You can't really do that when you come from that background because this job has no rules. You have to make your rules. So I'm gonna say a book, Trading in the Zone. That guy lived in Detroit. He's from Detroit, but he moved to Chicago, quit his job selling life insurance or insurance to become a trader, and then turned out he wrote the most popular book in the world on trade. So he didn't come from a market maker's perspective downtown Chicago in the Mercantile Exchange or the Board of Trade. He just understood how it needed to be. And that's what that book really set the tone. It helped me out a lot, which is why I tell you guys, when you take my class, we're going to do 4 classes. You're going to get 4 strategies every class. Some will be different than others, but we're going to get 4 strategies. But I try to build the strategy or give you the strategy that fits your personality. So I can make it custom to you if I know how you think. That's what makes me different than most people who do this and teach it at the same time. But that's why those 12 different strategies at the end of the week or the end of the month, if you're 60% on one strategy and 80% on another, or your best one, then we get rid of the other 3. We keep that one. And then we go to the next class. You get rid of the 4 that's the worst. Now you have 2 strategies that we know you're good at, which is why I tell everybody, give me 20 trades each so we can do the probability on it to see how well you perform. Because all I have to do is get you to believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing, and my job is done.
Good.
That's it.
That's good. That's excellent advice to get people started. Shay said, "Do I want to be right, or do I
That's
want
right.
to make
You
money?"
will be right, or do you want to make money?
That's his favorite statement, y'all.
That's
He's
my
been saying
favorite
that
comment.
since I've been hearing him say that since I've been knowing him.
Because
So
people want to hold on for hope, and I'm sorry.
yeah,
It's more money out there that's pushing this market around, and you
right,
don't understand that these candles don't move just because you're looking at them. I'm
right,
sorry.
right. That's right. Yep. And Aisha said, "I feel so exposed with that comment." So look, man, we got to get out of here. We got about 3 minutes before we want to end the show today. Once again, I want to thank everybody who's commented. Rudy, get off the sidelines and get in the game. See, I can say that to him because I know him and I love him, and he know my number. He can call and fuss me out on the sideline. But Rudy, get in the game. Stop playing. Get in the game, brother. You know, you see a lot of testimony and a lot of conversation from people here that have jumped in, took their lumps and bruises, and keep on going. Okay? Nobody gives up. They may take a break, but nobody gives up because they understand that,
Right.
there's a means to an end in doing this. And I want to thank, the professor, the mentor, whatever name he want to use this week, the N word, whatever he want to use. I ain't got no problem calling him the N word, okay? Because he'll call me the N word back, But I appreciate him and I love him so much, and he comes on the show regularly. Sometimes he'll come on with some of the students, but he was adamant this time, coming by myself. What's the title again?
The best
Best
loser
losers
wins.
win.
You
So
guys have to learn how to lose, and and grow from it. You're not a loser. You just got to learn how to grow from it. And that's everything in life, no matter what it is: relationships, finances, trading, whatever. Sometimes you got to walk away.
right now,
Quitting early ain't quitting.
right,
That's what people don't realize.
right. Now let me say this: while I got everybody on the line, I can say it all at one time. We now have, and I say we because I'm in it too. We have a playlist specifically devoted to Prince Hunter Financial Group. Okay, so all you have to do is you have anybody that may be a potential interested person, send them over to the playlist and let the playlist do what it's designed to do: educate people, inform people. Let them know. That way you ain't got to go through all my 1,000 videos to find them. You can find your videos if you were a guest on the show on the playlist. Norman called me one day and it motivated me. He said, "Man, this guy, I sent him a couple of videos. He said, 'Man, you do a great job.' I said, 'Oh shit, I need to put a playlist together then.' And I did. So they're there. You can go over there, see the playlist, pick out your favorite video, send it to somebody so they can look at the rest of them while they're there. And that will help encourage people along the way. Okay? Help them understand because all of your testimonies are very important, whether you know it or not. You might think that, yeah, it was okay, but no, your testimony is very valuable in this process. Okay? I see people having a whole bunch of comments on the comment there, but we over with. So I got two questions that I always ask before we end the show. First question is, Norman, will you come back and see me again? You advertise, you got to come back. You
Yeah, I'll
know,
be back.
yeah. So I understand that. Then the second question is, what would you like to leave with the people before you leave today?
That's a that's, that's a good one. But if I had to say anything, one of my points was to be the best loser you can be. You have to have some emotional fortitude. You have to understand what you're doing. That this isn't get rich quick. It's a business. It's a job. And if you treat it like a job, but you just never leave the house, great. But the growth process, there is no holy grail. The holy grail is in your head. It's between your ears. It's how you think about what you do. You make your own rules. You make your own plan. You make your life. That's it.
Absolutely. Thank you once again, my brother, and I appreciate you. And you stay right there. I'm going to end the show.
Mm-hmm.
I want to invite you guys out to join me on tomorrow on Street News Now. Street News Now is where we do every Wednesday at 12 noon. You can find them on this network. You'll be able to come over and see how we talk about the current news of what's going on from our perspective. Okay, so join me tomorrow, Wednesday at 12 noon, right here on the network. Also, join me each and every Saturday at 12 noon from the desk of Dr. Ron. And I tell you, I have an opportunity to tell you all what's going on in my world each and every week. So it varies from week to week. It's not the same. I'm going to be getting back into doing my Black History Moments 365 days out of the year. I'm going to be talking about our heroes and sheroes from around the world. So you don't want to miss that every Sunday evening. Next week we're going to have another guest on talking about the receivers of the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. So you're not going to want to miss that either. I want to thank all those that have made contributions to the show and all these people that's doing so well on the stock market. Y'all need to, chip in, help a brother out, make donations, help keep a brother alive with what he's doing. And while you're over here, please hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that share button. I want to thank you all once again for tuning in, being a part of what we do over here.